Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 145 of LostinTranslationmon. I'm May.
And I'm Jay.
And this time we watched Clash in the Clouds.
Or the miraculous Digi X Rose. Shoutmon X5 Flies.
And welcome to the Jungle Zone.
Or Stingemon, the Griat Digimon Forest Hero.
And Rumble in the Jungle Zone.
Or the legendary Decker Draymon Moves.
Moves. Do you write down the misspellings, or you just wing it?
This is winged. This is all winged.
All natural. It's all natural. It's like
all natural wings.
Like Sparrowmon, my precious child.
That's not all natural. That's a fighter jet. They make those.
She eats diesel-flavoured birdseed because she's a birdplane.
I don't believe you.
Part of her's a bird, the other part is a plane. She's a birdplane. For NewsLatelymon, first up, as I mentioned last week, I was on Going Digital last weekend, and the episode has been released, and it was released on Sporky's Burp, which is May for I cannot say birthday legitimately anymore. I just can't. Burp.
Are you happy?
Happy borp. Happy borp. Happy B.
This is falling apart.
I just can't say birthday anymore.
It's completely falling apart.
So it was her birthday, I believe, on the 15th? I think. 15th sounds right. Yes, 15th. That was Tuesday. Yes, 15th. So happy burp. And we also had a release schedule update. I made a post about it. I'll link that in the link dump, and I will also link the episode of Going Digital I was on. It's nothing major. I just made a bit of a boo-boo with the with some of how the episodes were lining up, so I fixed that up. Also, I'm busy on the first weekend of June, which is when we're releasing our Lane episode. So I'm going to endeavour to get that Lane episode out a couple of days early. So actually it'll be released on June 6th, which is my birthday. So my birthday present to you is Lane. Yay.
So unhappy.
So
Lane.
Jay and I haven't watched that yet, but we will be obviously watching and recording before June 6th.
Is it the last or second last?
Last.
Finally.
Maybe it'll be explained. Explained. Get it? Explained.
You did the emphasis wrong. It should be explained.
Excellent. Explained. Gotcha.
Thank you. Good job.
And on to Obnoxious Synopsis. The first episode that we're going to be watching this week is called Clash in the Clouds, or The Miraculous Digicross. Shoutmon Cross 5 Flies. What do you think will happen in this episode?
Well, the obvious ones. They fight in the clouds and there's X5 and Cross 5 shows up. And let's, I guess, try to deconstruct what that means. The place where we left off was Lucimon getting all the dark energy. And I can only assume that if this is the true form and you get a bunch of energy, everyone else in this entire show, every time they eat a bunch of energy, evolves. So I'm guessing we're getting a callback to... Alright, there was Fall Down mode, and there was the dragony form that was above that.
Satan
what was
mode.
that called? Okay. I think that will be with the episode, where they fight that. And it's pretty much going to be the High Machine Dramon episode, where they're all losing really hard, and then a new evolution shows up.
Who do you think it's cross? Who do you think the missing part is to make Cross 5?
Sparrowmon.
Okay.
It's just it. See, the thing is, what's his name? Shoutmon Cross all things. It's a Voltron, which means that all the things that are combined into it have specific color patterns, so that you can identify the bits of them.
Right.
So Drillmon is orange, Shoutmon's red, Ballistamon's blue. I know he's red and blue, but he's blue is his primary color that he brings to it. And what have we just been introduced to that would very easily cross into it? Would give you a unique color, and also just so happens to help you if you're fighting in the clouds.
Good point.
Maybe the jet engine.
The birdplane.
Birdplane.
I love
sure.
Sparrowmon.
It's not a bird, though.
It's a bird.
It's only a bird by virtue of its name.
I love Sparrowmon, though. It's my best friend. What else do you think will happen in this episode? Anything else, or just
I mean,
big fight?
it's a long fight. They're going to be losing. Then they'll work out their differences with Nene to an extent, cross with Sparrowmon, and then win. How much stuff do you think happens in one episode of Digimon? I think I've done a really good job here.
Right, so pretty standard Digimon stuff is big bad guy evolves, new evolution, while they're losing really badly, and then they win.
Yeah, and then at the end they can be like, hey, join our team, and she'll be like, no, idiots, and then leave.
So she's going to Sun Sin.
Yeah, it's kind of what happens.
Yeah. Do you think anything will annoy you in this episode?
Um, well, I guess probably how they deal with the big dark energy at the end. Like, you can't just destroy it, otherwise they would have destroyed it from the beginning. So what do you do with it? If you destroy Lucimon when it's inside him, does that mean it just goes away forever? Because that seems better than making a big Sky Zone prison.
Do you think it'll be a good episode?
Yeah, it sounds kind of boring to me, honestly. I think they can do good stuff with the premise of like, how does Nene integrate with the team?
Mm.
But I don't think they will do any of that.
I mean, so far the other crossloader users that we have, I almost call them apply drivers, Taiki hasn't actually gotten along with. Like, he hasn't made friends with any of the other chosen children, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, besides his two friends that are with him, who are not chosen children, they're just children who are around him.
Yeah, and they don't have crossloaders. But everyone else with a crossloader, like Nene and Kiriha, like, he's more or less, like, kind of, like, on opposing sides at some points. Well, basically at all points.
They're often on the same side. They're fighting,
The Bagra army.
Bagra. Well, that's like Bagura, which is that character from... It's almost that character from Yu-Gi-Oh!
The burger army. They just really want
Imagine
burgers.
if Bagramon was actually just a Burgermon.
Oh, that'd be cute. What rating?
Let's call it a 6. It's not going to be terrible, but it's not going to be very good either.
So your stock standard guess rating is always a 6.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Right. And filler or not filler, I don't even know why I asked that question. We've barely had any filler and any evolutions there.
It also can't be, because they're progressing things along. They're going to get the code crown at the end of it. And Nene could have taken it, but she just chooses not to, much like Kiriha in that castle one.
Right.
You know how it'd be.
Yeah, I know how it'd be. The second episode is called Welcome to the Jungle Zone, or Stingmon, the Great Digimon Forest's Hero. What do you think will happen this episode?
I'm thinking it's a jungle zone. The only jungle I can think of in Digimon is that time that, like, was 02. What's that, when that bit where he's like, and he called me a bunk?
That was in Mexico.
Yeah, that's a jungle, right?
They're in a temple.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
I think, like, it's like an Aztec thing.
Okay.
It's like jungle. And other than that, I don't know. Stingmon, I don't know, some kind of, like, Tarzan-y hero guy. Because, like, Indiana Jones, the bad guy has to be the big high priest.
Mm.
But other than that, I don't know.
Right. Do you think anything will annoy you in this episode?
No one's heart gets ripped out. Kalima!
Wow. Do you honestly expect someone's heart to get ripped out in Digimon?
It's just a reference to Indiana Jones, man.
I know.
Kalima!
Do you think it'll be a good episode?
Not really. I think this is really the beginning of, okay, wow, there's too many zones now.
So, like, you're getting a bit sick of how formulaic it is, like, oh, every 3 episodes, new zone.
Boy, am I.
Right, so do you think they're ever going to mix it up, or do you think it's just going to be this for 70 episodes?
Well, they have to run out... Well, it can't be 70, because the other 20 are new characters.
Not entirely.
It can't be like Taiki dies and he looks over at the new kid and is like, Davis Part 2, take over where I left off, for I am old now.
Okay. So, what rating then?
Like, I think it's going to be legitimately boring, so I'm going to give it a 4.
Wow, that's probably... Like, if that rings true, that's going to be the lowest rating, I believe.
No, I've rated things as 4. I've not liked at least 2 episodes.
Yeah, but, like, I think
Sure.
you've given those episodes, like, 5s. I don't think you've given anything a 4 yet.
No, I'm sure I have.
Oh, I might be wrong, but, like, that's pretty low.
Yeah, it's true.
We've been sticking to the, this series sure is okay. It sure is functional.
That is true.
Which is good, but it's, you know, it's less to talk about. Like, if you notice that our episodes are just over the hour mark, compared to in Frontier, when we're having, like, consistently like 2-hour episodes and 3-hour episodes because there was so much to complain about. In Cross Wars, we've spent like just an hour basically saying this is what happens.
Because it's all, yeah, it's just functional.
Yeah.
And that's actually kind of, the problem with that is that you have 50 episodes of it.
Yeah.
You don't need 50 episodes of functional. The best example of this is Pokemon Origins, which required 4 episodes to get through all of Pokemon Red.
Yeah, but they skipped bits. They said,
Yeah,
they had
I know.
fake previously ons.
Because they didn't need those bits. Those bits weren't actually necessary to the story.
Yeah.
So they said, you know what, we don't need to show you all of that. That's fine.
True. So, filler or not filler, I guess?
I'm beginning to feel like this arc is going to be inherently filler. Like, this one more so, because it's your introduction to the zone. Which is to say, if it weren't for the introduction to the zone, nothing would have happened.
Right.
It's possible something will happen in the next 2 episodes, but, like, really nothing is happening here.
The third episode we're watching this week is called Rumble in the Jungle Zone, or The Legendary Decadramon Moves. What do you think will happen this episode?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I got no clue. The only thing I can guess is if I connect my High Priest thing from last time, then it's possible that Decadramon is whatever the thing they're summoning, but now it's really a lot like that one where they've got the penguin robot out of the ice. It's pretty much the same story, so I don't think it'll be exactly that, but it's the best I got.
So you think Decadramon is bad?
Yes?
Okay.
Why do you sound sad about that?
No, that was just a generic, general, oh, okay. Do you have any idea what he could look like?
You know, like, when you head out the back of a house and there's like a wooden planking, the deck?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that.
You think he's going to be a wooden planking?
Yes.
Okay.
He's a deck.
Well, he also has Dramon in his name.
He's a deck, but made of dragons.
Okay, or is a dragon made out of wood?
Yes.
He's not a dragon made out of wood, by the way.
I'm horrendously disappointed.
But I'm looking forward to your reaction because he's quite an interesting design. I like him. I like all Digimon. Digimon's great. I will protect them. Do you think anything will annoy you in this episode?
I have not enough information to assess that.
So, do you think it'll be a good episode?
No, because it's a continuation on the last not good episode. This doesn't tell me anything interesting happens.
What rating?
A continued 4. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Wow, so you're going to be bored.
Yes. It's Digimon, so yes.
Filler or not filler?
Let's go with yes, technically.
So do you think this zone's going to be basically just filler, like just more of the same, nothing really advances, no new Digimon?
It's really feeling that way, yeah.
Okay. Any other predictions for any of these 3 episodes?
Muhammad Ali will sadly not be here.
I think you might be right in that one.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No. I've got nothing.
Well then, on to the show then. Episode 17 starts off, and what I noticed is that the show had literally just started and I'd already taken like 50 screenshots of Sparrowmon.
You've got a problem.
She's the best. She's my best friend. I love her. Anyway, so it moves on from the end of the last episode, which was Lucimon is being all evil and stuff, and he says he doesn't care about the code crowns, and he really just only wants power. Then he makes this really scary face that I'm honestly surprised that didn't get cut out in the English version, because it's still there and it's still horrifying. And then he becomes Satan mode, and the dub obviously does not have Satan mode. It is called Wild Second mode.
Also, there is no fetus anymore.
Yeah.
So the dragon is actually the Digimon now, instead of it being like a weird second body.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, but you're right, there's no larvae mode, and that's kind of disappointing, because I kind of like the idea that this tiny little evil gross thing's there.
But they had to justify the giant orb that's in the character design, and so now it's uprisen.
Which the dub gives a name.
It's Gehenna.
Like,
wait, no, it had a name in the Japanese as well.
I know, but I feel like they keep
It had a different name. It was Gehenna in the Japanese,
Yeah?
and in the English it was a blazing orb.
Yeah, it's a lot less cool, but what I'm saying is that they also call, like, the darkness the phantom mist.
Yeah, which makes up the Gehenna, even though it's part of the Lucimon's design. So, is that to say that all Lucimon Satan modes have the Phantom Mist, or you can only have one that has the Phantom Mist, which begs the question, does that mean the Phantom Mist was there in Frontier?
I believe that they're different ones because this one doesn't have their larvae mode.
The fact that you even considered this question for more than 2 seconds without just laughing and moving on tells me this show is bad.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's still better than Frontier.
Yeah, if you insist. I honestly couldn't tell you anything that happened in the last 2 episodes, and I wrote notes about it.
True. And you watched them today.
Yeah, that's true.
I watched them like a week ago, I think. 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Couldn't have been 2 weeks ago. We did the last episode last week.
Yeah, but we
6
had
days ago.
Yeah, we had like 3 weeks between that and the last time we watched Cross Wars, so I watched
you watched these episodes before we did the last show?
Yeah.
Weird.
I've already seen them all before anyway. Yeah. So what I noticed is in the dub is that they say Phantom Mist about 15 seconds and about 15 times in about 3 seconds, it feels like. Like, they keep on saying Phantom Mist. Oh, this is the Phantom Mist. Oh, it's because of the Phantom Mist. Oh, you know what that is? That's the Phantom Mist. Like, it starts to sound a little bit weird. It's like if you keep on saying the word chair or the word elbow over and over and over again, kind of starts to seem like a fake word.
I had to type the word yes hundreds of times today for reasons, and that is a word that falls apart quickly.
I think a lot of words kind of fall apart after you say them. For like, keep on saying chair, and it's just like, okay, what's a chair? What's an elbow? Like,
I never felt chair was a bad one. Flower is the one that falls apart for me.
It depends which flower.
No, just flower, the word flower.
Flower.
Don't do it now.
Flower. You're right. No, you're right. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Flowers, mostly.
Also, I really think we should talk about the most important thing that happens in this episode besides Sparrowmon. It's clearly the noises that Satan Mode makes, because it's like...
And
he makes like...
How did they... Where's their, like... What's it called? The big bunny rabbit that's evil.
Cherubimon?
Where's the Cherubimon voice actor they get for every bad guy?
Yeah, but that was in the dub. Like, this was in the original version. The noise that Satan Mode makes is weird.
Wait, isn't the noise in the dub also weird?
Yeah, but it's not as weird as the original. The original was just like, rawr.
No, maybe I'm just thinking the original. Yeah, it's not threatening at all. They need that guy who does Bison's voice.
Bipson. Wait, you mean Blastmon?
No, I mean, well, yes, but obviously to do a different voice than Blastmon's voice.
But I feel like the dub actually had, like, legitimate, like, monster noises.
I honestly don't remember anymore.
Yeah, that's because it was normal. The original had, like, rawr, rawr, rawr. Like, he's being attacked, and all he's saying is rawr. Like, it's really strange, because usually in the original is what they do is they take a terrifying monster, and they give it terrifying, and fitting noises. And the dub will give, this terrifying monster a stupid voice. Like, noisy tusk, haha. Like, that's what the dub does. But for some reason in the original, they decided to give this actual terrifying, like, slightly Eldritch horror sort of...
Mate, it's a dragon.
Yeah, and he's spooky.
That's not Eldritch. It's a dragon.
Yeah, but he's got like tentacles and he's got like big darkness and stuff.
He's a dragon.
He
has no tentacles.
Like he has like things on his back, doesn't he?
He's got big light show things. They're not tentacles.
In any case, he's horrifying.
He fires lasers. That's the opposite of what Cthulhu does.
Yeah, but he's one of like the 7 deadly sins, and he's like Satan Mode. Why?
Which sin is he?
We go through this every time, and we never can remember. Let's just go with the sin of being not very nice.
The sin of bad voice acting.
The sin of going rawr.
Ah, yes, lust, greed, wrath, rah.
Yeah, rawr. But why? How come we can never remember any of the 7 deadly sin Digimon? Because I feel like we talk about it every like 10 episodes, and each time we're just like, Beelzemon's gluttony, huh?
I think the problem is that, like, they obviously represent the sins by statement of the Wikipedia, but the show makes no point of it whatsoever. Ever. So, why were they even assigned?
Okay, so... Lucimon...
No, let's not go over it.
No, sorry, I'm just going back to what we were talking about before. So, Lucimon fall down mode... No, chaos mode, which is fall down mode, is pride.
Random. Like, isn't he greed because he's holding a big energy ball?
Wait, no, that's,
No, I know it's someone else, but why wouldn't it be this one?
Good question.
Beelzemon seems more like pride. Like, it just all... None of them seem assigned properly, except for lust, obviously, but that's much easier.
Barbamon is greed, by the way, and he's in Digimon Next. I don't know if he's in the anime. But, yeah, there's our 20th time talking about the 7 deadly sins and saying, hey, these don't actually align super well. Except for maybe, like, Belphmon, and I'm pretty sure he's Sloth, and then he becomes Wrath for memory. Unless I'm wrong. Also, Lilithmon makes sense, being lost.
Well, yeah. Except when they change her animation.
Yeah, in the dub. But she's still, like, kind of flirtatious, so you can't kind of say it's, like, lust. Like, put next to the other 7 deadly sin Digimon, she's the woman.
That's it. That's the one. That's what the Japanese think.
Like, oh no, Leviamon. Leviamon is definitely lost.
You mean Lust Viamon?
Want some of that big, sexy, long dragon. But, like, yeah, they don't align super well. But I feel like we go into that every time we talk about the 7 deadly sin Digimon.
Because it doesn't make any sense.
Sparrowmon is trying to save Nene from being in the rawr monster. And Taiki wants to save her despite being super evil, basically. Like, Nene's doing some pretty evil stuff, and Taiki's like, nah, we gotta save her. And then we have some tactics from Taiki, and I always do appreciate this when the children actually put some thought into their actions. And then we get some foreshadowing from Cross 4, who says, hey, if only I could fly too. And then we look at the title in the original version, and we go, huh.
But couldn't it already fly when Beelzemon was part of him?
No, because he was the legs, remember?
Why wouldn't they bring the wings along?
Because
now...
Or
can't they fuse differently?
Because then it wouldn't be a trouble in this episode, would it?
Pikmon's confused into an axe or a sword or a helicopter.
Yeah, I was about to say, or a helicopter if we see in the next episode, but no,
How
we
come
need
they can't keep Beelzemon's wings?
Because jet engine. That's a reason.
I mean, I guess.
All of the Heaven Zone Digimon are better now, and they stopped fighting Zenjiro, who, and I want to point this out and I want to make this very clear, Zenjiro is fighting off hundreds and hundreds of Digimon in hordes with a wooden stick, because he is the Swordmaster, and I love this.
I don't. He's not, what's his name?
Masaru?
He's not Masaru, he can't do that, he doesn't have superpowers.
Well, he clearly does. Also, like, Taiki didn't give his friend Zenjiro the Pikmon sword. I guess because Cross 4 needs it now, which is sad. Did I ever tell you about the Sparrowmon toy that I have that has Cross 5's head up her ass?
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, I'll just backstep here. So the Cross Wars toys in Japan were all released, and you can combine them. You can digicross them basically, and they're like Bionicle. So there are different parts. So there are parts in different ones. For some reason, the Cross 5 one comes with Cross 5's head, but the way it's put, it's up her ass.
Alrighty then.
And there's no way to put it. Like, it's there. Shrug.
That's, well, you know, it can't shrug because its shoulders will just hit Sparrowmon.
It'll hurt. I just thought I'd mention that just while we were on the topic, the sort of topic. We haven't even got to the evolution yet. So, yeah, Satan mode fed on all the evil energy that's surrounding the Heaven Zone Digimon. That's why they're turning back to normal. And Dark Knightmon's talking about how happy he is with the destruction. Then we see that Zenjiro is concerned for Nene being captured in a quite creepy, hey, you've never actually spoken to her kind of way. Because he's like the Brock of the group for some reason now, but the only woman that we see in this world is basically just Nene, so... Well,
Akari is there, you may remember.
Yeah, that's why I say he's like the Brock, because Misty's also just there in Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Does he ever hit on Misty?
No. It's probably because, like, I don't know, tomboys aren't attractive or something, or she's too boyish, I don't know, something awful like that. Also because she's Ash's love interest, I guess. Sparrowmon has a dream...
Wait a minute. Let's rewind a moment. How are they love interest? He's 10, and is that everything that happens?
Yes, in Pokemon.
I have no recollection of this whatsoever.
And she sings a song about how she's in love with him or something. Also, she's like 13. Ash has mad game. Also, you really thought that she was chasing after him over a bike?
Yes.
Like, for that long?
I mostly thought she was out for a venture.
No.
And to fight Team Rocket.
No, she always says, hey, it's my bike. No, she's like super into Ash.
What's Brock there for?
Just he's like third wheeling, I don't know.
He's there for her bike.
Also, he's like 16. Brock's got to get a life.
He's like 28, what are you talking about?
I thought he was like 16.
I don't know, but he seems 28.
I think even Jesse and James are like only 18. Like, they're still kids themselves. Everyone's kids. Anyway, back to the show. Sparrowmon has a dream about how she and Nene are friends. Taiki says they should work together, and Sparrowmon says she doesn't listen to anybody else besides Nene, And anyway, Taiki and Nani were fighting anyway, so they're not even on the same side. And it's sad.
Tsundere about it, or alternatively hyper-focused, I guess.
In the dub, she calls them losers, and she's actually really, really rude to them.
She picked it up from Nene.
Yeah, in the original, she's just kind of like hey, how about no? I don't know you. Y'all are on the different team. Y'all were all fighting like last episode. What's with that? I can't trust you because I don't know who you are. Like, it's all fairly reasonable. Like, yeah, she's wrong, but like, and she's being tsundere about it, but she's not like being horrible. In the dub, she's like, oh well, you're losers. I don't want to team up with you. Like, she's just really mean.
I mean, they only win every fight they're ever in.
Fair. Like,
why don't they have a reputation for winning by now?
I don't know, because they're the protagonists and it's sort of expected.
But it's not expected in universe.
True. Maybe they just know that they're the protagonists because they've got goggles on their head.
Only one of them does.
Yeah, the team with the goggles is the team with the protagonist. It's true.
Also, are we only finding out the other team names now?
In the original, yes. In the dub, previously it had just been question marks or Nene's team and Kiraha's team. The dub has always shown up the full title, and even if you notice when we see Damemon's introduction I think it's the next episode, the original has a question mark and says question mark Mon. The dub says Damemon. We also have at the start of this episode the in the dub the title card when Sparrowmon is trying to pull Nene out of the pit of darkness. The tag says Team Twilight, and the original it doesn't. So it's just the dub has always said the title name. So yes, in the original this is the first time we're finding out that they actually have names to their teams. In the dub, we already kind of knew because the title card said it.
Blue Flare is a good name. Team Twilight is a crap name.
Yeah, I love Blue Flare, like, as a name. It's cool. But you can also, like, it's not like, so imaginative that, like, it's like, oh, that kid would not have come up with it. Like, this is completely, like, legitimate what a kid would come up with that's kind of, like, a little bit like Kiraha. Like, it seems, like, realistic.
But I don't think that she did come up with it. It's not her team.
You do realise Kiraha's a boy, right?
I was talking about Nene.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Blue Flare being a good name.
I only really like it because it implies... Because I know he's meant to be like Matt, so his colour is blue. Yeah. But it implies that Kira himself really likes the colour blue.
Yeah.
Because what is a blue flare? Well, that's not a thing, so he just likes the colour blue enough that it's the title.
Yeah, well, it sounds cool, and I like it.
And what's it a flare of? I know it like implies like an explosion of fire, but you could have like feathers flare, hackles
they've
flare.
got a bird friend and a dragon friend, so I don't know. Anyway, I really like Kiraha in general. Like, I feel like in my first watch through, I didn't really like him, but in this, I'm kind of digging Kiraha. Like, as I mentioned like many episodes ago, I do appreciate it that he's never sort of like downplaying the ability of his, I guess, quote-unquote rival at this point. Like, he's never said, oh, Taiki's bad, even though Taiki's quite good. He's always quite impressed with him, and I like that. I really like Kiraha as a rival because he's not like every other Matt character, or the Lone Wolves, or the Blondes. They're kind of mean to the Goggle Kid / rival / main character sort of character.
I hate them all so much.
Pardon?
I hate them all so much.
Yeah, but Kiraha's alright. Also, Ruki was okay, but she was...
Ruki doesn't count.
Ruki does count. She is the literal lone wolf. She's
not a blonde blue boy.
She's a red-headed blue girl. Like, it's still
a different... blue. She was green.
No, she wasn't. That was Genra. Genra had the green
and or red.
Red was Tocado. Genra.
No, I mean her like the actual design.
No, she wore blue on her shirt and her jeans.
I have no memory of this whatsoever.
Like, she had matte jeans. No, dude, she was definitely, like, the Matt character, like, by far. She had the dog, she had the attitude, she had the blue Digivice. The only time a blue Digivice hasn't been attached to the lone wolf character was Daisuke, but he also had the crest of friendship, so,
Daisuke sucks. I hate him so much. Can we just talk about that for the next 30 minutes?
Yeah, we can talk about that, but I think Daisuke in V-Tamer didn't suck.
Yeah, because it was written by someone who hated him.
True. Zendro was... So I forgot what we're up to.
Ran over each other.
Oh, yeah, so now we're off on that weird tangent about, like, the blue characters. Kiraha's great, we can leave it at that. Taiki offers Sparrowmon the Squawker in the dub, or Rista in the original. They changed it because Rista sounds a little bit weird.
It's really bad. It is garbage.
It's called Squawker, which is fine in the dub.
That's also terrible. You know they called walkie-talkies for a reason.
Yeah, but they wanted to call it something like different, I guess. Taiki leaves behind the walkie-talkie for Sparrowmon, who doesn't grab it because she's like, I don't want your evil, your stupid
Your wristy speaky.
No, your ugly charm bracelet. And she says that in the dub. I'm just like, why is she being so mean in the dub? She's basically being evil, but like, I don't know. I don't like the dub personality that they've given her. In the original, she's just like, she doesn't trust them because she thinks that they're evil. In the dub, she kind of just is mean. Dark Knightmon is saying that they should watch Nene in the sphere and let her stay there, and Sparrowmon's really concerned. In the dub, it seems that Nene's like completely on board with this mission because they're talking about how she's part of this mission, and it's like it's all planned, and Nene expected this to happen, and it's completely playing out to the way it should be, not just like Dark Knightmon either planned this or does not care about Nene. In the dub, it's just like, oh yeah, she's meant to be there. She knows exactly what she's doing. You know how she's screaming for help? No, she wants to be there.
I kind of initially got the sense he didn't care, and then later it was more of like it'll work out in our favor, I guess. But he's definitely willing to risk her, which is weird because it becomes very evident in the last episode we covered today that he definitely needs her around.
I feel like he only needs her around, but doesn't really care if something were to happen to her as long as it was in his favor. But
that may be true, but that's the issue here, is that like he might not care about her personally, right? You don't necessarily care emotionally about something, but it might still be important to you, right?
Well,
I'm not emotionally invested in my seatbelts, but if they didn't work, then I'd have a problem.
Yeah, no, true. But he does also say how, like, and I believe when he's saying this, I feel like he's not lying. I don't feel like he does lie to his teammates because he's just evil and just like, I'm so evil, I'll just kill you if you disagree with me anyway. He says how he doesn't, like, Nene's not just going to die from just this. So he knows that she won't die. Yes, this may scar her terribly. It may almost kill her and, you know, cause her damage in some other ways, but she won't die, and he needs her alive. So I agree with you there, but I feel like he doesn't really care about the outcome because he knows that she won't die, but he still really doesn't care how damaged she gets. Like, she could come out, like, completely ruined because of all this exposure to the darkness.
She'll be fine, though, don't worry about it.
She'll be fine.
Because the Phantom Mist is not actually shown to do anything. In fact, in this circumstance, besides evolving Lucemon and making him big, you'd think that absorbing lots of stuff would make you evolve or something.
Yeah.
Especially after unmind controlling all the people on the island.
Mm.
But it just makes him kind of big. And then he just holds it. And he also makes him stupid. Why does all the power make him dumb? They literally say, like, oh, in this form, he's not smart enough to understand you when you talk.
Well, that's the thing with Satan mode. Like, he's basically gone berserk, and he's just basically a mindless, aggressive, attacking entity, right?
So why did he want it again?
I feel like he just wanted the power, and he wanted the power over the control. Like, it's the same with Belfmon Rage mode. Like, that was like, oh, he doesn't have control. Like, he's just a violent, mindless attacking thing at that point, right?
First you get the power, then you get the Digidollars, then you get the DigiNoir.
Yes, the dude, which, by the way, is totally pasta.
It's not.
I still feel like it's pasta. I
You're
feel like
wrong.
We should bring back the weekly poll just to say, yo, DigiNoir, pasta?
We can just look at it. We just look at that picture again.
Okay, I'll take screenshots after we're done recording then. But now we have to talk about the most important scene, and I know I've said that about 5 times this episode, but it's really important that we pay attention to the fact that Shakuramon is carrying Cross4 and Taiki by the head. Like, Taiki's on the head, and he's just
kind of too big to teleport around, because we need an excuse.
Yeah, it's adorable though.
Because teleporting has to do with weight and size. Doesn't.
Clearly. Like, you know, he was just able to transport, like, 10 people before and some Digimon, but, like, whatever. So they get shot out of the air because, of course, they do. And Sparrowmon wants to save Nene still, and she wants to say she can do it all by herself. And she's saying, well, you know, Dark Knightmon's not going to help, so I'll just do it all by myself because no one else is helping me. And I just feel like, oh, Taiki sort of did say he would help. Like, you're not really doing it by yourself, sweetheart. Nene is watching Sparrowmon fight from within the orb, and Sparrowmon's trying really hard. And this is where I remember that this is very, very similar to the last few episodes of Digimon Tamers when we had Jury in the orb and Beelzemon and Kulamon like Kulamon was inside trying to bash out and Beelzemon was trying to bash in and he was just like attacking the orb. And
are you saying that the season of Digimon does nothing original ever?
Yeah, but like to some extent, and we loved Atmon.
No, and then they beat Lucemon, fall down mode.
That's Satan
with
mode.
Beelzemon, and but it's original.
Look, but I'm just saying, Atmon also had a few things that weren't necessarily super original. Like we could say, hey, that's like this one. Like the Apply Driver question is a lot like the message that the kids get in Frontier.
And, hey, quick question for you.
Yep.
How much is Shoutmon actually featured in these episodes, and how much is like his story arc like discussed at all?
I like
that. Is it
actually.
None?
Yeah, none. But like I like that. Like it is nice to see spotlight on other Digimon because remember, Taiki has multiple Digimon in his team.
Mate, you can put the spotlight on other Digimon without completely ignoring things. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's ostensible main character is Andy Samberg, but there are entire episodes that go by where half of the episode is totally following someone else. But, like, if there's a story development that's important, you'll see it. The problem is that Shoutmon's story doesn't matter, and I don't think they care anymore.
I mean, he does something that makes me pretty happy in another episode, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah.
And it's something that makes me really happy. But it's not necessarily to do with, like, Shoutmon's story, and you're right, like, for these episodes, they kind of just said, hey, we'll just, like, he wants to be king and all, but we'll just put that on the down low for now, like, he already spoke about it before. That's kind of annoying because I feel like it's part of Shoutmon's character to never stop shutting up about, like, being king. Like, that's, like, all he does is, like, I'm going to be king.
Yeah, it really bothered me. I wanted to sort of wait for this, but I'll say it now. It legitimately bothered me when Kiriha's given the code crown, and they never, ever look at Shoutmon for him to be like, no, my code crown. They're all just cool with it.
Like, that whole scene, we don't really get the reactions of the rest of the cast. Like, it's just focused very much on Kiriha, which is fine. I really like that scene, but you're right. It doesn't focus on, like, what's Shoutmon's reaction? He wants to be king. Shouldn't he be jealous? No, we're not going to look at him. And I feel like Taiki didn't really react much either.
I totally disagree that it's fine, which is why, like, I'm having this problem with it.
No, I didn't even get that, but you're right, it is awful, because, yeah, it's against Shoutmon's character. Anyway, Taiki uses the Patamon Digimemory, and the Patamon looks really strange, and he makes some clouds for Cross 4 to run up, which is, super not how physics works, but...
How come no one says they keep saying it's a stairway to the sky. Not a single person here in the heaven zone says it's a stairway to heaven.
Good point.
In this or the English, which would have been a perfect time for it.
Never in the English. They don't even call it the Heaven Zone in the English dub. They don't like religion in any English dub.
But Stairway to Heaven is just a song name.
Yeah, but it's not called the Heaven Zone. It's called the Sky Zone. I don't know.
Boo.
Because why would we reference heaven, right? I don't think we even mentioned that in the last episode. That they call it the Sky Zone, not the Heaven Zone. Anyway, Sparrowmon breaks through, but Satan mode, I always do that with the modes. I'm going, Satan mode, Mon. Now I can't even talk today.
Yes, X4B Mon.
X4B grabs her and pulls her out and says she's going to die.
The fact that she doesn't just immediately get squished like a grape tells me that they couldn't figure out how to write this bit.
Well, she's like a plane. She's a bird plane, not like a regular bird. She's a bird plane.
But it squishes under the fingertips, and obviously, if you just put it in any effort, it would have died.
Happy bird plane! So, Taiki and Cross 4 attack Satan mode, and Taiki tells Sparrowmon to get Nene, because Nene starts flying out. Sparrowmon says that now she knows that Taiki wasn't lying. And then we get the best song ever in our second Evolution character song, which is also the outro to our coverage of Cross Wars on the podcast. And I love it. The Cross 5 song. It's really good. Did you like it?
Yeah, it's Digimon, so I didn't really like anything.
It's such an exciting song. It goes buddy on, buddy on, buddy on, because they're buddies! It goes buddy on, burning on, buddy on. It's adorable.
The special Cross 5 song was not for me.
I love Sparrowmon so much. It's better than Cross 4B, the Guardian. This one's the best. Anyway, Cross 5 wins because it's a new evolution.
We're at Cross 5 at episode 17 of like 50. How many evolutions does this thing get? I guess you take the number of evolutions that kids usually get, but it's diffused over like 5 kids on average.
Yeah, see...
And they're all for Taiki.
It's complicated because of all the different possible cross evolutions that you can do. Also, the
How
fact
high
that
does this cross go?
also there are like 3 seasons. Yeah. So and they have different evolutions, I guess you could say. Without too much spoilers, it doesn't go up much higher past Cross 5, but they do other things besides this sort of thing, and that's without any spoilers. So
It's
the
okay,
sky.
for it to be spoilers, I have to remember it.
Yeah, good point. You'll forget it. I believe that like all this goes out of your head the moment like we say, "See you guys next time, bye."
It's gone already.
True. So Sky Zone is crumbling. In the dub, Cross 4 mentions he feels like they've forgotten something because Cross 4 doesn't have a mouth, so they can give him whatever lines they feel good
This
and
bit's
ready to
important, because what happens next is very confusing in the Japanese.
give. Is it? I found it was funny.
Well, basically, on that temple bit down below where Jeremy was, it crumbles and everyone like falls, presumably to their death. And then it just cuts to the ground and everyone's fine. It never explains how they didn't die. Only in the English does it have Sparrowmon being like say like, "Oh, I helped them save everyone."
Oh, okay.
In the Japanese, they literally all survive with no explanation.
True. I was just too excited by Sparrowmon holding Nene's hand in the next scene to really care about anything that was ever happening.
Like, I really assumed, I'm seeing everyone fall down. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that'll be the end of the episode. We'll deal with that next time. And then it wasn't. They just continued as though it didn't happen, which begs the question, why did they make it happen in the first place?
Okay, true.
I can't believe you didn't notice.
I didn't notice. I just assumed they were all well and good because it's the end of the episode. Everything's always well and good.
It's unbelievable.
Except for Nene's mental state.
That's fine. She's only being abused by a Digimon.
Which is like an interesting theme.
It is.
Disturbing. Very disturbing and, creepy.
If you're not up for it.
Yeah, it is interesting to have this sort of like, because we've had a human abuse their Digimon before with the Digimon Kaiser abusing Wormmon. And this is like a reverse of that because we always have like, and I guess because this is Cross Wars and it's like there's a different relationship between the partner Digimon and the Digidestined, the chosen child, is that, that Digimon has always have like a puppy-like love for that person. Like that Digimon will go along with whatever the human says. In the case of like Dokomon being in love with Eri or Wormmon taking physical and verbal abuse from his like chosen child who he's been with for actually a lot of years, like since he was a kid.
The way this comes out in episode 19 is
Yeah?
almost exactly what I had in mind for Graviton and Bagman, as for a blast from the past right there.
Yeah, in the roleplay, yeah.
Yeah, for a Digimon that's like, you know what? No, a human is, you gotta have them around because they have the Digivice and stuff, and so you gotta have them for power and stuff, but, who's gonna let them run the show? That's dumb.
I mean, yeah, and it's really, like...
Isn't Gravimon in this series?
Yeah, I was also about to say Gravimon's in this season.
Cool.
I think
Probably
he's in
nothing,
the first...
not nearly as cool as Graviton.
I think he's either in the first part or second part, I think. I don't remember him much,
So he's
though.
he's in one of the 2 parts. Is that what you're trying to tell
The
me?
3 parts.
What's there's the third part, Young Hunters?
Yep.
Okay.
Which I love, because it's just
They're the
Atmon.
only one.
Like, just imagine if Atmon was just, like, Monster of the Week stuff.
That's terrible.
And only plot in the last, like, couple of episodes.
I want to die already.
But it's still, like...
I want to die right now.
Like, I really... Like, when we get to Young Hunters, you'll say, oh, that's Atmon. Like, when they go to the AR field. Anyway, Taiki gets the Code Crown. Nene retrieves the Dark Fragment, which is, in the dub, just called part of the Blazing Orb. And apparently that was Dark Knightmon's goal. In the dub, it's more said to be her goal as well. Like, it's not just like, oh, this is Dark Knightmon's goal. It's Team Twilight's goal. It's Dark Knightmon and Nene's goal. When, no, it isn't Nene's goal. Like, she's just being pulled along and it's really creepy. And Dark Knightmon's, no, he's being like, oh, well, I'm glad nothing bad happened to you. Oh, I'm evil. And Sparrowmon just, like, holds Nene's hand and it is so cute.
Blah, I'm super evil.
Also, the data collection is Chibikmon. It's not as great as the other Digimon that we've had, but because it's a data collection, it's pretty useful because of how many Chibikmon, like, you'll want to, like, make swords and stuff.
What?
Because the Chibikmon part of the sword, and you can make the sword in the crossloader.
You mean Pikmon?
No, it's called Chibikmon.
Okay.
But that's what I wrote down because that's what it said in the data collection name. They're the small ones, the really small ones, the itty bitty ones. What do you think of this episode as someone who is new to Digimon?
was fine. I think the problem is that the bad guy wasn't very interesting, and so the whole thing sort of just came off as slow. Because, well, the big bad guy, who was a schemer who had been working at this for years, and that made him, you could at least say, threatening, even if you didn't necessarily believe the whole thing, like I didn't. But now they just took away all the intelligence of it, so it's like, oh, big scary dragon. Well, that's every Digimon fight ever.
True.
So just fight it until it dies, I guess. That's fine.
How'd you rate this episode?
It's 5.
Oh, I feel bad for my rating now.
Why?
I gave it a 9.
I couldn't possibly imagine how you would think it was a 9. Nothing. You literally only made it a 9 because Sparrowmon was on screen.
No, actually, because of the interactions between Nene and Dark Knightmon, the fact that it's a reversal and that sort of like, oh yes, the Digimon partner loves their human because they're forced to. It's just kind of like, oh no, Dark Knightmon just sees Nene as an evolution battery, basically, and like, oh, you have a
I don't think that
crossloader.
stuff really comes out in detail until episode 19.
I know, but like, it's the start of that.
Well, it doesn't get a 9 for being the start of it.
Yeah, and I feel like despite it being a more or less a fight episode, I feel like it is a good episode for a fight episode.
I disagree.
I don't know. I like this episode, but you're right. Sparrowmon is great. Like that's why I gave it a higher rating.
Hey, it's not illegal to be wrong.
I wouldn't give it under a 7 though ever. Like this was enjoyable. What about how this episode compared to your predictions in Obnoxious Synopsis?
I'm pretty sure I guessed that it would evolve into this thing, which is cool. I always like being right about stuff like that. However, let's see. He gets the rest of the evil energy, big space dragon. Got it. Holding a fetus. That's not true. That didn't happen. It's like, but I said that no. I said that he'd only be the dragon because they wouldn't actually have the callback to the source material. They just have the design. I totally called that, actually. And Cross 4B loses the fight, fuses Sparrowmon and wins. Holy crap, I called that.
I mean, it wasn't Cross 4B. Beelzemon was separate. It was just Cross 4.
Oh my god. Fine. I was just really, really close.
True.
And then the problem was I said that Nene acts Goy and refuses to join, which is to imply, like, it's all her big deal, but it was mostly Sparrowmon.
Well, Nene was trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you may have forgotten that she was trapped, maybe. Because you
And
didn't
the thing that I thought would annoy me in the episode did happen, which is like there was this big evil energy, and you beat the Lucemon, but then like what happens to the all the evil energy? And now the implication is that Nene got some of it by picking up the corner of that like little shard of the prison, but that much evil energy doesn't just go away.
True.
Because if it did, they would have done this already instead of trapping it.
Yeah, and I know. Yeah, you're right. That evil energy seemed to be something that was always like forever, anciently, inherently in the ground of Heavens/Sky Zone.
The problem is that now that the moment it stopped being a MacGuffin, you're never going to hear about it ever again.
Nope. What was the major difference that you noticed between the Japanese English version? Because my main difference was definitely, like, there weren't that many. Like, I'm noticing that there were less and less differences, but the main one for me was the fact that the dub did not want you to think that Nene was in any way not in control. Like, in the original, it's very much like Dark Knightmon has his own plan, and in the dub, it's like Nene is involved in the plan, where the original, it's kind of like, nah, she's not really. Also, Sparrowmon's attitude being kind of rude.
For me, it was definitely the, like, Sparrowmon being like, oh yeah, I totally helped them save those guys from falling. Because no one ever explains what happened to them. Yeah. So they have to add it in, or it's weird.
Episode 18 starts off with them basically in the transporting between zones. And what I noticed, again, is that Angie's a lot more salty about Nene. Like, in the original, she's just kind of like, she's evil. She's working against us. She kind of tried to kill us, but with the Dark Zone, doing some evil stuff. Maybe we shouldn't trust her. In the dub, she's like, I don't like Angie. I don't like Nene. And she's just really, really aggressive and salty, like, about, like, and it's more like, oh, she's jealous that Taiki may like her, like, which is not a possibility in the original. In the dub, she seems more jealous than just like, yo, she's evil. I know you want to help people, Taiki, but this woman's literally evil. Like, do you see the big, strong, evil Digimon? Yeah, evil. Black Crossloader, evil. Working with evil Digimon associated with the Bagra army, super evil. Can we not? And Taiki's like, no, but we have to help. And she's just like, I think you need to reevaluate your life choices, my child.
Why would Black Crossloader actually mean evil? Paint exists. People like the color black.
Actually, it's a shade.
It's a color when it's in paint.
I know. It's like the whole, hey, can I go to the toilet? I don't know, can you? Or, I have 5 fingers. No, you have 4 fingers.
And a thumb.
And a thumb.
Finger, you jerks.
Anyway, so that's just what I noticed straight off the bat, that they've made Angie into this, like, really super salty and jealous person from being, like, completely legitimate in the original. Because what Akari wants, she wants to go home. She doesn't want to help evil characters. Legitimate. Angie's just like, no one's paying attention to me. Taiki.
Why did you capture that princess in your, like, iPhone? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I don't know why they had to make her like this. Because I don't believe she's a love interest for Taiki in the original. I feel like she's protective over him, yes, but I don't feel like it's romantic.
I don't think so either.
No, and the dub seems to really want to push that idea of like, hey, look, guess what? Love interest. No, not love interest. Friend. Like, sister-type character who looks after him, yes. Not love interest. I don't know. They're also, like, quite young, so, I don't know. Maybe, you know, if you know, we have, like, 7 years in the future and they're together, that's fine. They're whatever. But, like, at the moment, their relationship does not scream love interest to me.
You mean a 02 style epilogue?
Young Hunters is set 2 years after Cross Wars, I think. But that's the only epilogue stuff we get.
Joyous Day.
Sort of. It's with 02-esque. As I said, like, Young Hunters is basically just like, imagine if 02 was half as many episodes and Daisuke had no redeeming qualities. Also, what the hell is a female character? Let's just have a bunch of boys. Oh, and the one female character? Let's make her really, really, really obnoxious and only like cute things. That's what girls like, right?
It's okay, I'll just stab myself in the eye. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like, who cares about female characters in development? But overall, Young Hunters is still better than Frontier. Because at least it's only like 20-something episodes and has some quality to it.
It doesn't have some quality to it. Everyone disagrees with you. You're the one who is wrong.
Not everyone. Some people like it.
No, those aren't real people. Those are internet bots.
Aw, oh, no, don't tell me that.
All of them.
Anyway, the kids appear in the air outside of the zone and they fall in a very Looney Tunes-esque, like, don't look down. Why? Oh. It's kind of funny. We get a cute scene, which is very, like, Taiki being Taiki, when Beelzemon comes out and he's just like, don't worry, I will save Akari and Zenjiro. And Taiki's like, huh, and he's really relieved. And he's completely forgotten that he is also falling to his death. And I feel like that's so like his character to do that. He's just like, oh, my friends are safe. Nothing to be worried about now.
Followed by the most Shoutmon thing in the world. Don't worry, Taiki, we'll save you by pulling you upwards. It'll be fine.
I love the interactions, and yeah, you're right. It's very Shoutmon. It's like, we'll just pull him upwards. Because Shoutmon's not smart. And in some way, Taiki's not super smart either. He's caring and he's kind of strategic, but, like, not super bright.
No. Especially in the next episode when he's, like, trying to give everyone orders and then keeps getting distracted even though it's, like, an emergency. And we have to tell him, hey, do you want to just, like, get on with it? It's like, oh, yeah!
Like, I really like Taiki because, like, we see his flaws and he's kind of adorable. He's kind of an idiot, but he's pretty nice. I like him. So how he gets out of this is that he makes a helicopter with Darulamon, and in both the original and the English version, he is like, this is embarrassing. I hope no one ever sees me. And the original, I think he says, I hope Cutemon doesn't see me.
I always really like that. It's like, I think that's a weird change, because I don't think Darulamon actually cares what people think about him, but Cutemon is something that, like, he has to put up with all the time.
Yeah.
And will probably never forget.
For some reason, they remind me of Timon and Pumbaa. Maybe it's just because, like, big thing with small thing that rides on his back. I don't know. I wish I had drawing ability, because I would definitely, most certainly draw Timon and Pumbaa as Darulamon and Cutemon. Blastmon's back in the next scene, which is great, and he's adding the Chan honorific to all his friends, which is great. I love Blastmon. Every time he's on screen, my day gets a little bit better. He's still not as good as Arbamon and Petrodramon with his ding dong. Remember to brush your teeth. I think about Petrodramon like twice a day when I brush my teeth. It's
Bing
good
bong.
to live for something. Pardon?
Bing bong.
Bing bong. Remember to wash your hands. Good advice. Thanks. We see that there's a Pumon without a name, And as I mentioned earlier, the dub gives the title card of Damemon, which, like, you can kind of guess because in the original he just says Dame, 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 which basically means no good or bad. Remember when I was stuck at customs in Japan because of the wallet ninja thing, which passed customs in Australia, but in Japan was like, what the hell is that?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, basically, my Japanese was a lot worse back then. So basically, this character helped me because it taught me Dame. It's like, Dame desu ka? Because he always
says bad?
Yeah, it's like, oh...
Is that not good?
Like, it's like, not good, wrong, bad. And I think it's like... I mean, there are other better ways to say not good, but Dame is like the... It's sort of like... I could be completely wrong here, so take what I say with a grain of salt. My Japanese is heta desu. It's not good. I'm bad at it.
I thought it was dame.
Dame is like... Yeah, it's dame. Dame is like kind of like...
I'm a dame.
A kid. Like, imagine a little kid saying it. Like, it's... You wouldn't hear, like, you know, at a professional business meeting someone saying dame. It's pretty informal, I believe. It's pretty casual. Like, I might say dame to a friend, but I don't know, it's not formal, but I could be wrong. We find out that Lilithmon likes him, and in the dub he's called her cat, so that's weird. Pooh cat. Tactimon's going to the forest zone because he's like, hey, there's some protagonists here.
Are you sure?
Maybe. He's going to have a look anyway. Worth a shot.
Just walk over them.
Meanwhile, in the forest zone, Darullamon says it's inhabited by a very strong Digimon. Then Taiki, who I've written in my notes as Tactimon for some reason, which is confusing. Taiki sends Darullamon and Revolmon to hunt for the others. In the dub, there's some added dialogue when Deputymon has the Wild West accent and is called Darullamon Doggy. Giddy up! I'm just very unhappy with it. Darullamon's having a really bad day and it's really embarrassing for him.
Get ready to fly.
So this zone has giant bug Digimon, of course, because all bug Digimon are giant, and of course we have multiple Outlet Kabuterimon who are all very inconsistent in their sizes, which is fine, I guess. In the dub, Jeremy says, giant bugs, what's next, clowns? And this is when he sees the big bugs, and Cutemon's scared. It's adorable. Stingmon shows up, and he attacks Beelzemon. Then Lilamon stops them fighting, and says that they're the warriors of love. And then she says, look, Zenjiro and Akari are clearly lovers.
I did not get it until we saw the costumes later, that the whole thing is like, it's a bee and a flower.
Yes.
I don't know why I didn't catch it, but
no,
I
actually,
didn't.
It's a common rider and a flower.
Well, no, yeah, it's a common rider bee.
Yeah.
The common rider bee.
Oh, wow, okay. So in the dub, Lilamon is a southern belle for some reason, and it's unfortunate they didn't use the same voice as Ranamon in Frontier, but it is the same voice as Laylamon.
But
so
does
well
Lilamon sound like Mimi's voice actress with a southern accent?
Who?
Lilamon. Sounds like Mimi's voice actress, but with a southern accent.
Well, it's not Mimi's voice actress, but I don't think... I guess I can see what you mean, kind of.
And like Decadramon sounds like Genai.
I don't actually know... And are we talking about the dub?
I'm talking about in the English, yeah.
Yeah.
I can never tell the difference with the Japanese, ever.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Decadramon, but I definitely looked up Lilamon, and Lilamon's basically just been in Frontier. But I look up Decadramon. So Decadramon... Oh, no, you know, I did actually look this up, because he did sound familiar. No, he's not Genai, but he is Zudomon, Elecmon, Vikemon in Digimon Adventure, Andromon in Digimon Adventure, Divamon in Digimon Adventure.
Andromon sounds about right.
Yeah, but no, not Genai. He was also... well, this is wrong, because it says Dobamon in Digimon Tamers, but he wasn't Dobamon in Digimon Tamers, because that was Randy Savage.
Got Randy Savage.
So this list I'm looking at might just be wrong.
Does it literally say Macho Man Randy Savage?
Well, I know that Domon is... Unless I've just been wrong. Unless he's just doing a Randy Savage impersonation, which is entirely possible, and now I just learned something. Okay. Because I can't actually find the link that says that it was Randy Savage. Have I just been wrong all these years? Anyway, so the Bagara army, which I keep on reading as Burger Army, and they show up, and Taiki's surrounded by angry bugs. Taiki makes Cross 2, and he reloads some pawn chessmon to fight. And in the dub, we call this uploading, and not reloading. Unless he just... I can't tell if I misheard, or they misspoke, or it was just an incorrect bit in the script, but it's definitely been called reload before in the dub. Nene and Kiriha kill the members of the Bagra army, and in the dub, Darulamon say, "Kids today, she didn't even say thanks." I don't know, I like the fact that Darulamon's a grumpy old man.
Well, I mean, he hangs out with Cutemon. He has to be.
Yeah. And we see the Tactimon's there. Meanwhile, Lilamon and Stingmon take Akari and Zenjiro to a safe place. In the dub, she's saying how it will protect everyone whose heart is full of goodness and love. And then, the best part ever, is when Beelzemon replies to this by saying, "Even me?" And it's so cute. And Lilamon keeps on thinking Zenjiro and Akari are a couple.
Why? Because they're just cowering together?
I think it's because boy and girl, and maybe it's just like, you know how sometimes people in fandoms, miscellaneous fandoms, every fandom basically, they say, "Hey, a boy and a girl, they're together, must be love."
And they yell, "No, we're not."
Or in the English dub, they say, "Cooties, cooties, cooties," for some reason. It's really weird, because Lilamon's like holding them and saying, "Aw, couple." And in the original, they're saying, "We're not a couple." But in the dub, it's like, "Cooties, cooties." And I just, okay, get digital cooties then.
Digi-cooties. Like,
Cootiemon.
there was a serious recontextualization of the entire dance bit, because they obviously added all those words about friendship.
Yeah. Well, the original also makes it sort of about friendship, but I guess we'll get to that in a bit.
No, it's just lavu lavu la.
No, but the reaction to it is more like passion and friendship, but I'll talk about
That was
a bit
just
later.
Decadramon's reaction.
Yeah, that's what I meant, and that's nice. Darulamon and Revolmon find them. Beelzemon, Revolmon, and Darulamon go off to look for Taiki because Akari and Zenjiro are safe with the big scary bugs. Nene and Kiriha show up to fight Stingmon and Lilamon. Taiki makes Cross 4B, and I really like this, Tactimon mentions that he hasn't actually seen Cross 4B before. And this line is not in the dub, but I really do appreciate when they say, "Hey, they haven't seen this Digimon before."
What the hell is that?
Also, I don't think Tactimon actually references how Balmon's there, but as Beelzemon. Maybe just can't tell the difference.
There's no way he knows.
Tactimon leaves, and Cross 4B says that they're Team Crossheart, and Tactimon says that he'll remember that. In the dub, when he leaves, Tactimon just says that he has a surprise up his sleeve, and there's no mention of the team name, which is sad, because I really like how they say, "Hey, we're Team Crossheart!" And
why would they even have a team name if they're not going to tell the other side what their team name is?
They're also called the Fusion Fighters in the dub, which is not as cool.
It's not nearly as cool. But also, they both suck.
Like, remember the time where he's just like, "Okay, we're full of heart. We're going to be called the Fusion Fighters." I don't know, I always find that funny. Nene wants Kiriha to torture the Digimon until they tell them about the legendary Digimon. And Kiriha refuses. It's like, why would I do that? And Nene says that she chose Kiriha over Taiki because he's so cold. In the dub, she says it a lot harsher. Like, she's just like, "Oh, because you're emotionless."
It was always really harsh.
Yeah, in the original, it's... I mean, the way that it's written in the subtitles, at least, it's very sort of like, "Oh, because he's all emotional and you're just a bit colder." Like, it's a sort of, it's kind of just more casual, but like in the dub, it's just like, "Oh, because you're heartless and cold and emotionless and awful," basically. Dark Knightmon reloads himself and attacks Kiriha and Metal Greymon as well for not listening to Nene. Then the Guardian calls to Stingmon and Dark Knightmon follows with Nene, and then we find out that they're called Team Twilight. And the dub also says they're called Team Twilight, but it means a lot less considering they already said Team Twilight in the last episode on the title card.
More like Team Jacob, am I right? Hey-oh!
Oh. I'm Team, what was her angry friend called?
Angry friend? I don't know.
Like, she had like an angry friend who has been in a bunch of other movies. I think she was in Scott Pilgrim.
Do you mean the actress?
Yeah, the angry girl.
Okay, I know an angry girl, but the one I'm thinking
Jessica?
Yeah, but the one from Scott Pilgrim was Aubrey Plaza, who was a different actor. No, it wasn't. Aubrey Plaza wasn't in that. She was in Community. Not Community, Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
This is dumb. I don't remember what her name is either. Wait.
Her Jessica.
No, it slipped again.
That was her name. I'm pretty sure her name is Jessica. Though I'm also Team Alice. I'm Team Bella realizes that she's a lesbian and runs off with Alice.
Wow.
Could happen.
Nah.
Or Rosalie.
Big wrong.
Anyway, so at the end of the episode, we find that Lucimon is the Digimemory. Also, we get a 3D Monitormon in the corner, and I really like how there are different Monitormon. Like, they're not all just the same. There's different types of Monitormon. I don't know. It's
Lots
cute.
of different TV Narutos.
You call them TV... Oh, I guess they are ninjas.
They're like Naruto ninjas 100%.
Ah, true.
And Naruto came out before this, so they're clearly inspired by it too.
They don't look like Naruto, though.
Yes, they do.
Really?
Not like the character Naruto himself,
Oh,
but they
yeah.
look like the ninjas from that show.
You know, my favourite Naruto character is the one that's a Teletubby.
I mean, besides the televisions, they're wearing the same stuff.
Yeah, because they're ninjas.
Yeah, those kinds of ninjas are not traditional ninjas. Those kinds of Naruto ninjas.
I don't know. I don't know much about ninjas, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure that that design was in existence before Naruto.
No, the traditional ninjas would have been like wearing black or dark blue,
Actually,
and like mostly fabrics.
I thought they didn't wear black because they wanted to actually like stand out and have them
See the
hiding
follow-up
being an issue.
statement or dark blue.
Ah, true.
Chill.
Fair. Anyway, so on to the next episode. Cutemon is reviving Lilamon, and I really like how Cutemon is useful. He's just not just there being adorable. He has a use. He heals. Nene gives Dark Knightmon orders, and he refuses and says that he makes the orders around here now. And I don't know. I really like the dynamic between these two.
Also, because his name is Dark Knightmon, I've been calling him Batman.
That's fair. You can call him Batmon.
No, Batman.
Batmon.
Batman.
Batmon.
Because he's the Dark Knight.
Oh, true. Well, then shouldn't he be? Oh no, he was a Dark Knight, wasn't he? Yeah.
Wow. Destroyed.
I forgot. I thought the Two-Face was a Dark Knight, but of course Batman's a Dark Knight. What am I talking about?
Nah,
Taiki
but
says
like he's more of a Batmon.
Yeah, so Taiki says that he can't turn his back on Nene, and Akari says that she's evil, and Taiki says that he's not really sure about that because Nene had this certain look to her. Then, in the dub, we have Angie being really angry that he always helps people. In the original, she's always been like, I guess it is in your nature, and you are so lovely, but she's still like, hey, she's still evil. In the dub, she seems like actively angry that he always helps people, like she's complaining that he always helps people. In the original, she's fine with it, she just doesn't want him to help the evil people. Kiriha buggers off because Nene betrayed him and he's feeling kind of hurt.
He's like, well, that sucked. I guess I'll just go.
Decretramon is the guardian, and Lilamon is doing the lovey love dance, and says that Akari and Zenjiro should also do it. In the dub, it's called the Dance of True Heart. Meanwhile, Taiki's teasing Kiriha about losing to a girl. In the dub, they change this because that's sexist tripe, and they have Mikey says that he never thought that Christopher would give up. That's much better. Notice how they didn't have to bring Nene being a woman into it? It's great. Well done. Thank you, dub.
Nah, don't give them credit.
No, I'm giving them credit. Because, you know, they've made a lot of bad mistakes, like Ogremon being Ogremon, and Slushangemon being Slashangemon, and, you know, Revolmon being blue. But, like, so I will just admit that, like, this was a good change, and I feel like they've made a few of the changes whenever they say, in the original, I like watching strong men, they change it to, I like watching strong people. Or whenever they've said something in the original about, like, oh, for a girl, or because you're a girl, or something, they've always made it, like, more gender neutral and less sexist. And I really appreciate that, actually. Because, like, you lost to a girl. That's awful. In the original, like, that being said is terrible.
Yeah, you're right. Who would lose to a girl? That's awful.
True, because girls will always win anyway. No, what I'm saying is that, I don't know, that being a point of like, oh wow, you lost to a girl, you can't be that strong. And this being changed to, never thought you would give up. Like, I don't know, that's better, because still, like, it's Mikey teasing Christopher kind of and saying, hey, that's not like you. And in both versions, it is, that's not like you. But in the original, it's, that's not like you to lose to a girl, instead of, you know, and the dub changes it to, that's not like you to give up. I don't know, I appreciate. Nene and Zenjiro are doing the love dance, and in the dub, Jeremy announces that he doesn't want anyone to put this on the internet. I don't know, quite funny. Also, there are lyrics to this dance in the dub besides just love you, love you, love you, love you.
Yeah,
and
which
like
again recontextualizes what the dance is like meant to be.
Also, and I really like this, Team Crossheart says that they're all going to join in support. And I really like this. Like, it's like, hey, this is an embarrassing moment that you don't want to do, but we're going to join in, and that helps. I don't know, it's really nice. Taiki tells Sparrowmon to come with him and to when the doors open so they can go get Nene. And I really like how every time we see a shot of Crossheart, like, having all the emotions and the feelings and they're singing together, I just really like it. Decretramon opens up the door and says, I can feel the love that you have for your friends. In the dub, it's the determination and passion is the sign of true love.
No, it's true heart.
Oh yeah, true heart. Yeah, that's true.
Which is a significant difference because obviously they're cross-heart, and there's a theme about like having a heart.
But in the dub, they're not
Taiki looking over
cross-heart.
at Kiriha and saying it's you don't have heart.
But that's in the original that they say you don't have heart or that we're full of heart, because in the dub they're Team Fusion fighters.
But in the Japanese, they're talking about the love of friends, like your love of your friends.
Yeah.
I know, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird that they make it into heart in the English.
Yeah. It should be heart in both versions, but it could just, I don't know.
But then it would make sense about why it's like...
Yeah.
The whole point is it's like a bait and switch with romantic love to platonic love. And the idea, I assume, is that the dance, because they kind of get into it at the end, it's not a dance you do to do the dance, and that's all you need to do. You actually have to care about the other person.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how you love the other person, just that you do.
Yeah, it's about love. And love has many definitions. You can really love this cake. You can love your family.
Boy,
you can love your
do
friends.
I.
Yeah, I love this cake. Like, I love cheesecake.
Do I?
Like, you love your friends, you love your partner. There's different types of love that you express, and I really like how they're highlighting that this is the love of the teammates and the love of the friends, and that's nice. It is a nice message, and they're joining in. It is nice. I like this. Taiki says he's going to separate the teams, one to go through the door and one to fight the Bagara army. Kiriha comes through the door as well, and so does Sparrowmon. Digimon is saying how he feels no love from Black Knightmon, and Taiki says that Nene is being controlled by Dark Knightmon, and he says, well, you're partly right. Kiriha reloads Greymon to fight too, and then he ends up making Metal Greymon. Kiriha says that Taiki's right, losing to Nene isn't his style. In the dub, because this is what he said earlier, he says that giving up isn't his style. Dark Knightmon tells Nene to use Cross Open. In the dub...
Which is a terrible name.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Wouldn't it be just uncross?
Yeah, well, in the dub it said end the fuse, and she announces disengage fuse. I don't know, but it sounds... I think I prefer disengage fuse because it sounds more like mechanical. I don't know. So he mode changes to Skull Knightmon and then becomes Axe mode with the Axemon friend. In the dub, he becomes Skull Knightmon and Axemon, and then he becomes Mighty Axe mode.
I didn't understand this. Why would unfusing make him stronger?
I think it's just a mode change, but to get to the mode change, they have to disengage fuse and then fuse again.
But he seemed to be doing just fine before he even did the big mode change fusion.
I think it's because it's meant to be a reveal.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Nene tells Digimon to surrender to Black Knightmon, but Digimon says he might to Nene, but he won't to Black Knightmon. Taiki holds on to Nene and asks what he's threatening Nene with, and she says you, which is her younger brother. In the dub, it's Ewan, and then we find out that she just wants to go home. And then Akari, because she hears this, says, oh, she's just like me. Kiriha says that being strong will heal the pain, and Nene has to become strong. In the dub, it's similar. He says only strength can conquer sadness. And then we get sort of like a brief shot of a backstory of him looking very sad on a couch.
He looks like he's in, what's his name's mansion?
Toma?
Yeah, he looks like he's in Toma's mansion.
Yeah, I had the exact same feeling. I'm just like, is he just Toma?
I almost get the feeling this is a scene that they shot for, well, like they animated for the previous season and they never used it. And it's like, oh, finally.
I feel like they look different enough.
Do they?
Oh, they're
small
both
blonde children?
Yeah, true.
Just bring a racist grandma and you're there.
Digimon has feelings about Kiriha, and he leaves Singmon to protect the forest because he wants to be with Kiriha. Digimon says that Kiriha has the strongest love, and he'll join his team. And then he gives him the code crown, and we find out that's what was making Digimon gold, and he's really just brown, or bronze rather. Dark Knightmon tells Nene to leave, and Nene says that she will now go to the Dust Zone. Kiriha follows. Taiki crosses Belzamon with the Starmons and destroys some evil bugs, and then when they've basically wiped out all these evil bugs, Akari now wants to save Nene because she realises that they're similar to each other, and she's sort of sympathising. She's just like, you know, I would do anything to get home. In fact, I almost gave a code crown to the evil guys. Like, she understands why people might do drastic things just to go home. So I really like this.
Yeah, because like she's developing empathy for the first time.
Yeah, I like that. Because we had the start of these two episodes when she's just like, hey, she's evil, why do we help her? And now she understands, oh, Taiki was on to something. Like, Nene's not necessarily evil. She just wants to go home. She's just like me. And I like that.
Okay, she'll change back eventually.
Hopefully not. Then, between zones, Taiki gets grabbed by a dark tentacle, and then we get the Scorpiomon Digimon memory. What do you think of this episode as someone who's new to Digimon?
So boring. Every single yeah, Dark Knightmon stuff was interesting, but then other than that, everything was so boring, so pointless. All the stuff about love and heart, whatever, was just so much window dressing of nothing. They literally introduced the Bagra army, and then I presume they thought they had another episode in this zone and didn't. And they're like, oh, we have to solve that problem. Let's spend literally 3 seconds and one Digimon to blow up the entire army. That'll really put the Bagra army over as a legitimate threat when Beelzebub by himself can destroy the whole thing.
See, I didn't mind these 2 episodes. I mean, I preferred episode 17 to 18 and 19. I felt that episode 18 was just set up for episode 19, so I only gave episode 18 a 6. Episode 19 I gave a 7. I really do like the fact that we're giving sort of backstories and character growth to other characters besides Taiki. We know that Nene is not fully in control of whatever is happening between her and Dark Knightmon. Dark Knightmon is, I have the orders around here. Oh. Rawr. And we know that Kiriha actually does have heart, which is against Taiki's initial evaluation of him from the start of oh, he doesn't have any heart. And it turns out he does.
That's only the English version.
What do you mean? It's both versions.
No, in the Japanese it says that he feels the strongest love, which presumably was for his family that he flashed back to the picture of.
Yeah, and that's still having heart. It's compared to...
It's very different. You could actually say that his past experience crushed his heart, and that's why he doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure he does, right? But the problem is that they're just telling you from the beginning at this point, rather than implying anything and letting it build.
Yeah, I know, but it's still against Taiki's initial evaluation of oh, he has no heart, he has no love, and now it turns out that Dekadramon didn't even think about going to Taiki. Dekadramon immediately went to Kiriha, despite Cross Heart mainly showing all the love and the heart outside, which is weird that Dekadramon would go to Kiriha in that sake. But, I don't know, Kiriha clearly has something going on, and hopefully it outmatches the beautiful moments of the lovey-lovey dance that the entire of Crossheart was doing. It was great.
So only 2 of them were doing it.
Yeah, but Crossheart joined in, which is what I loved. What would you rate these episodes?
I gave them both 4s, which means they're accurate to my prediction, because
Wow.
I hated them both.
All 3 episodes were 4s?
Oh, no, the first one was a 6. Wait, it was a 5. First one was a 5, these 2 were 4s.
I swear you gave it a 4, but
No,
yikes.
I gave it a 5.
Yikes, that is not good. I like these.
Nope.
As I
I was
said,
bored, I just wanted them to end.
Episode 18 was boring, I'll give you that, but I felt like it was justified boring because it was set up, and it's sort of I feel the same way about episode 18 as I did about the first chapter of Try. It's just kind of boring, but completely necessary for what happens next. I don't know. How did these episodes compare to predictions in Obnoxious Synopsis?
So, I thought they'd be in a big Aztec jungle zone, which is kind of true with the big ziggurat and stuff. The Pyramid of Resurrection, that thing that's only in the other zone. Haha.
Also, Dekadramon, I feel is also fairly fits in with that theme. So yeah, I guess.
You mean as a giant alligator tank?
Yes. I love
But then I thought they would be I thought Stingmon would be a wild figure in rebellion against some kind of big organization, and turned out he was just protecting the temple. And I thought they would fight the bug high priesty thing, and that was kind of true, except that it wasn't actually a high priest; it was just the design that I kind of imagined. And then it was the bad guy who was so ineffectual they sort of died at a great distance, putting up no effort whatsoever. And in the English, what does he say at the end? He says something really dumb. I can't lose, except I just did.
Oh, that was bad. It almost reminded me of, you go and get me, I won't let you! I don't know, I have a lot of feelings about Oikawa. What were the major differences that you noticed?
Obviously the additional words for the love dance, and primarily I guess flowing out of that is the contextualization out of love, and then the revelation that platonic love is okay, to just heart, heart in general.
Yeah, true. Mine was still just the amount of control that the dub seems to think that Nene has. I know.
Obviously it goes away pretty quick.
Yeah, I know. It seems like a bigger thing. But no, you're right. Your main difference was pretty spot on. So we got more Sparrowmon. Is Sparrowmon good? Do you like Sparrowmon? Can we talk about Sparrowmon for the rest of the podcast?
I just don't care nearly as much as you do. I find this creature not very interesting. It's a birdplane. I don't care.
No.
It's not a Kulumon situation. It's just a yellow thing.
but I love Sparrowmon. What a friend. So, Decadramon chose Kirihara over Taiki for having a good heart. This goes against how Taiki originally felt when he first met Kirihara. Do you have any predictions and thoughts on this?
I didn't understand the question.
Like how Decadramon chose Kirihara instead of choosing Taiki.
I mean, it makes sense. She explained it. I thought that was reasonable. What do you mean?
Like, I don't know, do you have any predictions about this?
No, because it's over.
No predictions about, like, his backstory?
What? That's not what you asked me?
Yes, it is.
Why he was picked?
Yeah,
Oh, you mean by Decadramon. Right. Sorry, in my head you had been saying the word Nene, and I do not know why.
But I said Decadramon and Kirihara.
No, I'm aware of that
Yeah.
now, but in my head I was translating it through, and I could not figure out why you were asking me that question.
Okay, but now you've successfully translated.
Yes, I eventually got there. My problem is that I don't find it interesting in any way. I don't care. I don't think his backstory is interesting, like as a concept, because he's not that unclear. He wants to be strong. Fair enough, fine.
Me too.
Okay, cool. Like, it doesn't bother me at all.
What about any thoughts about his potential backstory? Do you have any predictions about that?
No, I just told you I don't care.
No. Okay, what about Nene having a brother? Do you have any thoughts about the brother who's in danger?
I kind of just assumed that he's like a kid who's in the real world and she needs to go home to see him.
Okay.
But it's possible that, she's like looking after him because her parents are gone somewhere or something. But other than that, I don't know.
What about the Digimon that were introduced in these episodes? So we have Cross 5, my best friend.
I like how the yellow plane turned into a gun.
And wings.
Mostly a gun.
Yeah, true. Birdplane. What about Decadramon, the big alligator friend?
You know what? When it was all big and glowing, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then it stopped glowing and it turned into a big alligator tank. I'm like, that looks terrible.
What about Damemon? That's the poo. Question mark Mon.
Oh, that thing. That was a poo? Like, it was a silver... I thought it was like a spring.
No, it's like Sukamon.
It's not nearly as bad as Sukamon. Let's put it that way.
True. So for Postmon Pat this week, I'll read Tumblr and Slack, and then Jay will read the With the Will comments.
Fantastic. I have to go find it, though.
Okay. So while you're doing that, as I said, I'll read Tumblr and Slack comments. So first up on Tumblr, we have Trickstar Holly Angel, who says, Haru would have magic books. Y'all ever play Fire Emblem? Haru has tomes. Alternatively, he can have tomes in, like, a regular book, like that one weapon from Fire Emblem 8, where a mage just kind of throws the book and runs. Yes, I can see that. And this was in relation to our discussion on, I believe, what weapons the chosen children would have last episode.
Yeah, I remember that.
I haven't actually played any Fire Emblem games. I do own the 3DS ones. I just haven't picked them up yet because I'm in love with Picross and I don't want to play anything else that's not Picross at the moment. Then on Slack, we have one from Zeromaru who says, Hey mate, I totally think that the mechanic with the DigiMelody and the Crossloader toy was really cool too. I so wanted one. I remember downloading all the sounds from the website in case I went down thinking I might buy the toy later. Yes, I'm glad that I'm not the only one who thinks that this is a cool mechanic. I really enjoy it. I have been getting out my Crossloader and, like, playing it to the sound, even though I already have them all. I don't know. It's really, really good. And it's fun. I don't know.
Are you sure, though? Are you sure it's good?
I don't know. I feel like this would be... It is, like, if you're 8, it's very exciting. And I'm 24, almost 25, and I'm excited by it. So I can only imagine myself as a little tiny child being extremely excited about this. It's fun, okay? It's like you have a toy and then, like, you interact with each... like episode of, and when a Digimon shows up in the show, a Digimelody plays, which you can also scan. I don't know, it's cool.
We got one from McGann who says the Paradise Mini arc is one of their personal favorites of X-Rose. They like the zone environment. They think the episodes have a nice pace to them. The comical first part with the Schwarzenegger police chase, building into some more dramatic moments in parts 2 and 3. And we have one from Chuckmon who says regarding episode 14. Let's say they really like how Mugendramon is like Lilithmon's puppy in this episode with the pink collar. They love it. They also like Hi Mugendramon. Sorry, I pronounced it like I'm just saying hello. Hi Mugendramon. Did anyone else notice, after Taiki left Balmon to save the others, the super glossy animation on the Digicross lead-in? I think it's the first of many. It's really jarring. The thing is I don't look at the lead-ins.
Yeah, I do, and I see what you mean. It's very shiny.
With regards to episode 15, they say they like the Heaven Zone as well. Sadly, it's the first zone that loses the digital effects animation added to the setting. The setting just becomes a generic world, something people took issue with in Frontier. But it makes them think, what would be required to make it a digital world setting? Could it only be a Tron-like setting, or the awesome internet world of Diaboromon Strikes Back? They honestly like Pegasusmon and his Star Shower attack, so it's fun to see him in this episode as well. And Slush Angemon. Everything that needs to be said about this has already been said a million times. It's a bad dub. Regarding episode 16, they say Dark Knightmon's first statement in the show, "I am but a noble," was perfect. They'd forgotten that happened. So what they're scared about with Cross Wars is this. They always thought the villain in the series was excellent. It totally delivered. Probably the best bad guy in the series. And they're afraid that Jay will pop the illusion with that pesky truth. They really liked Kurata as a baddie in Savers, and Jay exposed the stupidity of him as a character. It's like, is there like a Cross Wars villain just an illusion where they filled in the gaps, glaring plot holes, and character chasms with their own wacky imagination? Will Jay expose Cross Wars' baddie as garbage like Kurata turned out to be? I hope not. And look, I hope not as well. I hope that they're good. I'm just so bored. They're afraid to keep watching. By the end of this podcast, they may become Chuckmon Fall Down mode and be totally lame emo Digimon fanboy.
No!
So dark.
No!
They said that Daipenmon was the Digimon Data Corner Digimelody of the week, which was sweet. His attacks are blue. What?
What?
That's like just literally listing out the Digimon Data Corner. Yes, they say they love Daipenmon. Jay is totally wrong about the Digimelody being dumb. Well, thanks. It's the best idea Cross Wars brought to the franchise. Really, the best. That's actually such an indictment of Cross Wars that this is the best thing it did.
I wouldn't agree it's the best thing. I really like the whole general and army setup. I feel like
you mean
that's
that even like on the fly multiple fusions is somehow worse than this idea? Wow.
The Digimelody is a fun thing, though.
And a rather brilliant way to tie the show to more effective use of the cross-loaded toy. They also almost feel it was worthy of Digimon Rumble Arena topic, if only to see a total knockout of Jay. Oh, come on! Yeah, no, what a burn. With your wit and debate skills, of course. Digimelody is cute and adds sound to the overall digital aesthetic of the world. And P.S. they totally agree. Stage play was the gem of the entire Digimon Adventure Tribe project. If only they could own a licensed Region 1 subbed DVD of the production. This ever deserves way more money than they have already thrown at Shout/Toei for the 6 movies, but they have no channel to express their love, which is the story of their life.
Well, yeah, the stage play was great, but just onto the Digimelody thing, it's also, like, smart from a, like, franchise point of view, because it is selling the toy. Like, let's not forget that. It is saying, hey, buy this toy. And you know what?
I'm not tempted.
It's a great way to do it.
It plays a little bit of music.
Yeah, so that's it for Postmon Pat.
Alright, everybody, join us for the next episode of Persona 5, the animation, Train of Terror.
Or Dust Zone, Grand Locomon's Big Scrap City.
And Disaster on the Dust Zone.
Or Decisive Battle, Dark Knightmon vs. Crossheart.
And Lost in Digital Space.
By Netflix. Or Wisemon, The Secrets of the Digital World.
That is the reference, it's just Lost in Space.
Yeah, but now it's relevant again, because there's Netflix are doing it. I haven't seen it yet.
Lost
I've heard
in
mixed
space.
reviews. You can find the link dump linked in the description, and our Redbubble is also linked in the description. You can get more than just shirts there too. Also, happy Birdplane to Sporky McForkenspoon.
Happy
Blah, blah, blah. You can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment on this episode or message us on SoundCloud. You can follow us on @TranslationMon on Twitter, and you can find us on Lost in Translation on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We have a discussion thread on With the Will, and a red thread in the Digimon subreddit. And we would appreciate if you review us on iTunes, which is now Apple Podcasts, don't know why I said iTunes, whoops, Stitcher, and any other podcasting thing app that you use. Ratings really assist people finding out about the podcast. And we have a website, where you can vote in polls, check out our release schedule, and check out our blog posts.
And you can donate to our Patreon, which is linked in the description, for as little as $1 a month, which gets you access to our listener Slack chat group, but there are high levels, with more rewards, such as notes, early episodes, and more. And thank you to our Patreon supporters, Sam Krieger, who has a Digimon and Pokemon podcast with Stevie called The Moncast, Stevie, who is Stevie Padmon on Tumblr, is currently taking commissions there, Metal Mamamon, Joe, Anime Guy, who is Anime Guy Kurosaki and the number 1 on YouTube, Chuckmon, Hirolado, who's at Hirolado on Twitter, Jason Morosky, Ryuichi, who's Frost Miragic on Archive of Our Own and Inca.com/Ryden Allen, Stephen Reeves, who's at WildWing64 on Archive of Our Own, Kaidawashi, Mac, Noam, Riku, Chisai, who you can follow at Chisai236 on Tumblr, Kyle, the Lady Bugman, whose anime blog you can find at baguburagu.wordpress.com, Glitchgoat, Azra McCool, Gene Hackmon, who hosts New World Sonata, a sci-fi fantasy audio drama podcast, Matthew, Anthony, who's at AntoClassic on Twitter, Lizmet, who's Elecmon on Tumblr, Sithobi, Sporky McForkinspoon, who hosts a Digimon podcast called Going Digital, Megan, Kyliak, Neoboo, The Time Optimist, Silverhead Freak 25, who's at SHF25 tweets on Twitter. That is always so hard to say. Harvey, Nicholas, Anthony V, Harrison, and Michael.
You can also make a water donation on our PayPal, which we found in the description. It's paypal.me/airjamon. Make sure to let us know the podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Bye-bye!
満ちた明日をつかむ怨念たち空を舞う者輝